What's up, Sanctuary and YouTube? War Theory here. Today's guide touches on one of my favorite high rune farming strategies, ghost hunting, or as I like to call it, ghost busting. The unique and differentiated drop tables make ghosts in Diablo 2 Resurrected compelling. In existing guides, I've touched on the fundamental that player count directly influences high rune acquisition by decreasing the NoDrop chances. Let's quickly touch on some ghost fundamentals. First, there are three major types of ghosts in Diablo 2 Resurrected: Finger Mages, Will-O-Wisps, and Wraiths. Second, touching on the topic of treasure class, white ghost mobs do not drop gold, junk, or equipment, which enhances their rune drop probabilities. An additional callout is that their treasure class percentages are static and are unchanged across Hell Axe and Ghost types, with a 3.846% chance to roll the rune table. While Ghost, Unique, and Champion packs always have their added benefits, it's important to highlight that Champions have a slightly lower good drop roll at 3% because gold is reintroduced to their loot table. Third, and an extension of the previous, is that white ghosts can drop up to 2 times more runes than the average white mob in Diablo 2 Resurrected. Lastly, an additional benefit of hunting ghosts outside of high runes is that they can drop an increased amount of jewelry, charms, and gems given their treasure class. During the next segment, I'm going to touch on my top recommended 5 priority areas for ghost busting. How I came up with this list was using a practical index which included weighted variables such as density, survivability, accessibility, and additional area benefits. Let's jump into Arcane Sanctuary in Act 2. The first ghost zone is Arcane Sanctuary. Arcane Sanctuary spawns specters, which is a wraith classification. The beauty of Arcane is that specters are guaranteed to generate 100% of the time. Diablo zones typically spawn 3 monster variations per map, and Arcane only has 3 types. Looking across Arcane's map size and spawnable tiles, it is the most significant ghost density of any area, making this the mecca and primary focus in your high rune hunting sequence. Specters in Arcane are physical immune with high resistance to cold and poison. The treasure class for white specters in Arcane is Act 4 H Good, which can drop up to Cham Rune, with elite packs eligible to drop up to Zod with an upgraded treasure class table. An extra tip and benefit of busting this area are the 8 to 9 super chests across the end wings, plus the summoner and acquiring Keys of Hate. Make sure to eliminate all ghosts on walkable tiles, as any drops over the void of space will be lost. Next up, and second in line, is Chaos Sanctuary. It is essential to highlight that the focus of Chaos should be all about leveraging the speed of the drive-by taxi strategy using the seal pop trick mechanics. While a complete Chaos clear has its benefits, including experience, it is more advantageous for high rune hunting to focus on efficiently powering through the seals. Like Arcane, Chaos Sanctuary is 100% guaranteed to spawn ghosts in the form of Stormcasters, a Finger Mage class. Chaos as an individual zone has the second highest density of ghosts generated in the game. Stormcasters are lightning immune with moderate resistance to physical. The treasure class for Stormcasters in Chaos is Act 5 H Good, which can drop up to Zod. The significant benefit to Chaos is that it is an area level 85 and houses 3 super uniques in the form of the seal bosses guarding Diablo, the Lord of Terror himself. Check out my Chaos Sanctuary guide on my channel for those unfamiliar with the seal pop trick. Next up, and keeping it in Act 4, is Outer Steps, Plains of Despair, and City of the Damned. The key reason I group these zones is their connection and adjacency to one another, making it an easy-to-hit farming rotation as you go through your sequences. A significant benefit to this cluster is that all 3 of these areas are the most prominent open fields in all of Diablo 2 Resurrected. Diablo has 2 major map types in the form of fields and dungeons. These square open fields enable higher monster densities and add up to high indexing ghost hunting. Across these zones, the ghosts all share the Act 5 H Good table dropping up to Zod, and all ghosts are lightning immune with moderate resistance to physical. Starting with Outer Steps, it has a 50% chance to spawn Doomcasters, a form of Finger Mages. Outer is a simple map to clear and directly connected to Plains of Despair. Plains of Despair is unique in that it can spawn 2 types of ghosts: a 50% chance to spawn Doomcasters, or a 50% chance to spawn the dangerous Burning Souls, a Will-O-Wisp. In most cases, they have a 75% chance to spawn one or the other per run, enhancing the overall ghost density. While in Plains of Despair, you can also choose to slay Azul, a super unique. Like Outer Steppes, Plains of Despair is adjacent to City of the Damned. City spawns a slightly different form of Finger Mage called a Strangler, which has a 42.85% chance to spawn per map. An interesting tip about City of the Damned that gets slept on is that it is an area level 84, which means unique packs can drop all unique and set items in the game, so they are a strong focus in this area on top of white ghost mobs. The City of the Damned also has direct waypoint access with an entrance into River of Flame. Transitioning out of Act 4, we now head back to Act 1 to touch on the 3 jail levels plus the Cathedral. The 3 jail levels spawn wraiths and have a 60% chance to spawn per map. Hunting and navigating the 3 levels add up to a moderate density of ghosts, and they are all relatively easy to slay. Wraiths in the jail levels are physical immune, with moderate resistance to magic, cold, and poison. The treasure class for white wraiths in jail is Act 2 H Good, which can drop up to low rune, with a unique ghost pack eligible to drop up to Burr with an upgraded treasure class table. A tip while navigating jail level 2 is to look for a super unique named Pit Spawn who can also drop up to Burr rune. Once complete with the jail levels, you enter the inner cloister, adjacent to the Cathedral. Cathedral has a 100% chance of spawning wraiths, and while a small area, you may as well clear it before sequencing to the next run. Note, make sure to take out the super unique Bone Ash who, like Pit Spawn, can drop Burr rune. The final ghost busting areas are the Swampy Pits levels 1 through 3 in the Flayer Jungle. Some may wonder why I didn't include the towers levels 1 through 5 plus the Countess in my recommendations. Ultimately, it came down to Swampy being a new area level 85 and 2.4, its direct access right off the Flayer Jungle waypoint, plus its more substantial overall ghost density, albeit far more dangerous. Swampy Pits levels 1 through 2 houses Gloams, a Will-O-Wisp, which has a 60% spawn rate with level 3 with a 75% rate. All Gloams are lightning immune with moderate resistance to physical. The treasure class for Gloams in Swampy is Act 5 H Good, which can drop up to Zod. While this is one of the most dangerous locations in the game, especially for hardcore players, due to dolls and Will-O-Wisps, the primary benefit of elite densities with up to 19 packs, plus a single super chest in level 3, makes it worth the risk. Sanctuary, you made it. Thanks for tuning in. Before you go, smash that like and subscribe button to continue supporting content development on my channel. If you want to join the Horde and I the next time I broadcast live on Twitch, feel free to drop a follow, linked below. Stay safe, keep grinding, and see Vispacum Parabellum. If you want peace, prepare for War Theory.